Hello, I'm Rick Bucks. I'm Managing Director of Radical Systems, and I'm here with Justin Willey of our technology partner, IQX. What we're going to do today is a short Q&A, just to tell you a little about us, who we are, and what it is that we do. So let me hand over to Justin.
Good morning, Rick. What was the original requirement from customers that led you into the development of storage for the self-storage industry back in the late 80s and early 90s?
Well, I was taken on by a company back in 1983 to program a self-storage software solution for UK companies that had found themselves in a position where they needed to be able to expand, to do more, and to be able to offer a better service. At that point, they tended to rely on manual systems. Their facilities were relatively small because storage was unknown, but it was growing. And they found themselves with a very labour-intensive process that no longer fulfilled their needs. So I developed the original version of Space Manager to fulfill that requirement, and at the beginning of the 90s, I started Radical Systems to continue that project.
And so really scalability was an important factor right from the beginning, which I think is still very much the case today.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are a number of issues that self-storage facility operators will be aware of. They need to be able to manage their information in a way that allows them to provide a level of service that they would like to offer. At the same time, they need to have an idea of how they've been doing, where they're going, where they should be concentrating their efforts. They need to be able to manage their customers from the point of view of offering high-level service, debt chasing, and at the end of the day, they need to be able to grow. They need a scalable solution. Self-storage can be very labour-intensive if you don't automate those processes, that are suitable for automation.
You mentioned there the importance of business information, and that is something which one hears more and more about these days, in days of big data and so on. Is there anything in particular about the approach of that Space Manager has to access to that data and the way data is stored that's important for customers and potential customers of Space Manager?
We do things a little bit differently. As you process and run your facility, you are collecting vast quantities of information about your customers, about your operation, and that information is a goldmine. So in Space Manager, we store raw data in a database that is your own. You can host it if you want to. You can put it in the cloud. You can put it anywhere. But each individual database is the property of, if you like, the customer whose system it is. They decide who accesses it. They decide where it is. They decide how it's accessed and what is done with that information. So as you're running your facility on a day-to-day basis, you're managing your customers, you're managing your stock, you're managing your availability, your discounts, and whatever promotions you might have, and this all generates valuable data. So we store the raw information within the Space Manager database, on the basis that you then have facilities in Space Manager to analyze that information in a way that suits you. Now, that analysis is likely to change over time, because as you expand and as you grow and as you have more information, so your needs of that analysis will change. So by storing raw information, the base information, and providing the tools to analyze that, to mine it, if you will, within Space Manager, then should your needs change as your operation grows and expands, then you have the ability to go back and look at historical information with different eyes, in a new light.
So you obviously provide a number of tools for mining that information within Space Manager itself, but there's also the ability to use external packages to analyze that data as well, if one wants to do that.
Most certainly. How information in Space Manager is accessed and who buys is entirely up to the owner of the database, our client. And we interface with numerous data mining tools and external reporting systems, and they're very popular indeed. However, for the majority of our customers' needs, the internal mining tools, the report builder, the macro scripting systems, and our services to provide bespoke analysis, fulfills our clients' needs. But for those who wish to do it themselves, then the options are there. For those who would like to have external companies and services analyze their information, perhaps in a combination with data gleaned from other sources, then absolutely, that is totally possible.
And something obviously that's changed over the time that you've been operating in the self-storage market has been the rise of the internet and the increasing expectation of customers to be able to manage their accounts and think by themselves, directly through the internet, whether it's mobile or on web pages and so on. Can you give us an idea of what the capabilities are of Space Manager in this area and what direction that you're taking?
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think customers throughout the world are moving much more towards internet-based interaction with the companies that they obtain services from, and the pandemic has merely accelerated a process that started some time ago. Space Manager has a number of access systems, if I can call them that, APIs, interfaces, depending on the needs of the client. At the very basic, where we have customers who have their own web space and their own web developers, then we provide a number of API access interface systems that allow the developers of those platforms to access the data real time. But also, we have customers who perhaps don't have the luxury of on-tap web developer, but they do have their own web space and want to be able to interact to a greater degree with their customers. And for them, we have a relatively new utility associated with Space Manager called Space Manager Web. And this comes in two forms, if you will. The first is as a management utility, so that staff members can log in to the portal, online portal, and access numerous of Space Manager's management features. But also it provides a basic drop-in, if you like, a module that can be dropped into a customer's website and accessed via a link, which gives basic functionality to customers or customers of our customers to manage their accounts online.
Well, thank you very much, Rev. I hope this has given some insight into some aspects of Space Manager and the way that Radical Systems operates. I'm sure people will have more questions and would want to pick up some of these points and explore them a bit further, in which case I would encourage you to follow the Q&A links in the Expo system, and we can continue the discussion there. Thank you very much.